Hello, good evening. I thought we would read Matthew today. So I just don't know where to start yet. Let's read the parables of the hidden treasure and the pearl. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy went and sold all he had and bought that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he found one of great value, he went away and sold everything he had and bought it. The parable of the net. Once again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was let down into the lake and caught all kinds of fish. When it was full, the fishermen pulled it up on the shore. Then they sat down and collected the good fish in baskets, but threw the bad away. This is how it will be at the end of the age. The angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteous, and throw them into a blazing furnace, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Have you understood all these things? Jesus asked. Yes, they replied. He said to them, Therefore, every teacher of the law who has become a disciple in the kingdom of heaven is like the owner of a house who brings out of his storeroom new treasures as well as old. Okay, so we're in Matthew 13. Sorry, I didn't say that earlier. We kind of started in the middle of it. A prophet without honor. When Jesus had finished these parables, he moved on from there. Coming to his hometown, he began teaching the people in their synagogue, and they were amazed. Where did this man get his wisdom and these miraculous powers? They asked. Isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother's name Mary? Aren't his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? Aren't all his sisters with us? Where then did this man get all these things? And they took offense at him. But Jesus said to them, A prophet is not without honor, except in his own town and in his own home. And he did not do many miracles there because of their lack of faith. Let's read the devotional. Jesus our everything. Read Matthew 16, 13 through 26. Jesus is everything. Mother Teresa's words were demonstrated by her selfless, Christ-like actions. She was a friend to the poor, unabashedly loving society's rejects and giving hope to the hopeless in her adopted country of India. How broken her heart must have been every time she lifted an untouchable out of the gutter to die in her arms, or she fed and bathed a hungry, dirty orphan. Through her actions, this humble woman proved that Jesus was more than a good man, a brilliant teacher, or even a prophet sent from God. She knew in her heart that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of the living God, and that knowledge empowered her with enough love for a lifetime of service. In Matthew 16, Jesus asked his disciples who they thought he was. I have a story about that. Peter aced the pop quiz, calling him the Son of the living God. We all know Peter wasn't perfect. He was the one who had the tendency to speak first and think later. He was the one who denied Jesus 3 times. Yet at this key moment, he comprehended that Jesus was the Messiah God had promised for centuries. After Pentecost, Peter's boldness allowed him to proclaim Christ's identity whenever and wherever he could, regardless of the persecution and suffering it invited. Eventually, he was crucified for spreading the news that Jesus was God's Son. The ancient writer Origen records that Peter was crucified head down because he felt unworthy to die in the same manner as Jesus. To the apostle who had once denied him, Jesus was everything. In fact, Jesus was the only thing. The one who lived among us was God's hands and feet. He gave us the very words of his Father. He taught us how to love. He taught us how to give, and he taught us how to die as a grain of wheat dies, so that the seeds of life are multiplied. See John 12:24. Mother Teresa and Simon Peter understood that with Jesus there was no such thing as loving moderately. They showed others that Jesus was Lord of their lives by loving as he loved and serving as he served, continually, wholeheartedly, and sacrificially. That says read Matthew 16. I think that's probably enough for today. I went to church this evening with my daughter, and then I'm going to go tomorrow to my other church that I haven't been at for a while, so that will be nice. And stuff like that. I don't need to give the rundown of our weekend activities, but anyway, it's very mellow tonight. Got a lot going on, and I'm just looking for some quiet time in the Bible. Maybe we should read a devotional too. Let's see what this says. Open the door. Jesus doesn't just open the door of your heart and walk in. He will only enter if you invite him in. You have the choice whether to invite him in or not. The same God who gave a choice to Adam and Eve is the same God who gives you a choice today. When Jesus enters our hearts, he has communion with us, and there is intimacy. From this intimacy flows God's power, wisdom, life, and love. Have you heard the Lord knocking on your door? And then the Bible verses are, here I am, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with that person, and they with me. Revelation 3:20. To all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. John 1:12. That is it. I feel like I have nothing to talk about because I'm not gonna tell stories about like my family or what's going on. But it's also just a super mellow day, so that is good. I've been focusing on releasing a lot of stuff to Jesus and asking him to take it, and just trusting, like focusing on fixing my eyes on things above and fixing my mind like on my thoughts on things above, and not being consumed or taken down with stuff happening in the physical. I almost think I have like PTSD level of stress that my body associates with certain situations, and sometimes even just hearing other people talk about it. It's like my blood pressure goes up and I'm not even doing anything or saying anything or involved in any way. I'm just literally almost listening to somebody else. And it's like PTSD, I think, at this point, because of how long this has been going on and how traumatic it's been. And kind of the next couple of months, November, December, January, of what's to unfold. So I'm just having to because I cannot I have already been so taken out by it. I sort of can't, you can't go further down than, like, it's already so has been so destructive. So I'm trying to just give it to God as often as it takes. Just give it to God, release it to God, like take away that stress, take away that tension, don't let me have any high blood pressure, like let me fully trust that God sees, God knows, God's clearly helping, and stay focused on that. The person who is severely impacted is a Christian, and I am, and like we're the two most vulnerable in this scenario, and it feels like God is helping. So I have to stay focused on that. All the other players are not Christian, and it shows. And I'm not to talk bad about people who aren't Christian, but I'm just saying this is just intense. And then it feels like God is intervening. And so I want my body, like my natural, I'm not saying I have PTSD, but that's what it feels like. I want whatever my body cells are reacting to, I want that to be fully like aligned and trusting God through this, because I do believe in the end it will work out. And I don't think I'm being naive about that. I think it will work out. And the potential for such damage to be permanent is so great. And yet, of course, that's not anybody's goal, right? So it's like we truly do need like divine intervention to somehow miraculously work this all out. And it does seem like that is happening. So I want my cellular body, the physics of me, to like not react with PTSD, but to react with peace and calm and trust and like remembrance, like knowing the good and the help that we're getting. I want my day in, day out, moving through the world in this body self to be having that peace, not momentarily peace, not 1 hour of peace, but truly just walking in that calm. So I need to just really stay focused on not just believing or just having faith that it's going to be okay. Not just like, but like knowing that God is with us as this plays out, and letting that calm my body, if God is with us, I shouldn't be having these physical reactions from, and I get that's how trauma works. But, oh, that's what I was going to say. What did we read in here? About, in the devotional, it said in Matthew 16, Jesus asks his disciples who they thought he was. Like, who do you say I am? That's what he says to them. Who do you say I am? And that happened to me, like once I was going through like this, for my neck pain issue, and I had gone to the doctor, and then, and she had suggested these hot, like heating pad things that you put on your body, like stickers that you put on your body parts, and it like heats up. Almost like having warm hands on you, because I kept wanting like hands-on healing, like somebody just heal me. Anyway, and then she suggested these, the sticker things. I don't know what they're called. You can put them on your back or wherever. And so I had gotten to Walgreens to buy them. And there's more to the story, but it's all blurry. I have it written down somewhere. But, and then I went up to the counter to pay, and then there was this magazine with Jesus's face. I looked right over, and it was like Jesus's face was there on this, I don't know if it's Time magazine or what, and it said, "Who do you say I am?" Right on the cover. And I thought to myself, healer. Right, you're our healer. Anyway, and then there was more stuff that happened, and then I went to physical therapy because I kept wanting hands-on healing. And then anyway, I went to physical therapy, and the first time you go through like the orthopedics and all of that, and then they send you out to the physical therapist, and then the first thing she said to me, it was so, she said, "I just want to get my hands on you." And it was so sweet. And she was like, "I just want to get my hands on you." And it was just, felt like, there's your hands-on healing. And she was amazing. She ended up finding like this spot, because I was having like nerve issues at this point, like almost like nerve damage from what's going on in there. And there was this spot that she could massage. She could just massage it, and it would make the nerve pain go away. Totally. So it was like miraculous. So at least that helped us then figure out like what's all causing what, and where the main issue is and all of this. So that doesn't really make sense. I realize that story is kind of all random, but so I always think about that when I read that about who do you say I am. But we should read that. Where was it? Matthew 16. I don't know where it is in here. That must be when he asked, was it Peter? And then Peter said who he was. He was the Messiah. Anyway, this is a really random video tonight, but that is all. I hope you're having a good night. And thank you for the comments and stuff. Those who interact with the page, it helps me feel like I'm not just talking to myself randomly. Which I know I am talking to myself randomly, but it's always fun when there's other people who are commenting. So, anyway, that is all. Have a good day. Bye.